Hello everybody, I am Jedi Jack Penguin and welcome back to another LEGO Creator 3-in-1 review. So today we're going to be looking at the number 40562 Mystic Witch. This set includes 257 pieces and is available as a gift with purchase from LEGO stores and LEGO Shop at Home when you spend $100 or more on any LEGO products. Now the timing for this promo should have been from the 14th through the end, the 31st of October, though unfortunately, as I do typically with these holiday type videos, I want to release it closer to the actual holiday Halloween, so this promo may no longer be available once this video releases, so sorry in advance for that. Anyways, looking at the box art design, you get your Creator 3-in-1 logo at the top. It's really interesting to see them release a Creator 3-in-1 set as a promo. You get all three builds represented from the front as well. You get a witch, a cat, and also a dragon. It's kind of as if this witch has a power to transform into animals, which I think is a really interesting idea. From the back of the box to get a closer look at all three of the builds, and I do have to appreciate LEGO including tape on this box, which is something that you don't really see every day. So yeah, that's all for the box, so let's open this up and take a look at the box contents. Included in the box, you get a total of 4 unnumbered bags to build this set, in addition to 1 instruction manual to build each of the 3 different models. It comes to no surprise that LEGO is using the design that you're going to end up seeing for pretty much every single other LEGO theme for this set, where we have that render in front of that blank color, which they use a tan for Creator 3-in-1. I don't know why. From the back of this first one, you just get the wind guy. And the final overall model, you're going to see that also for the cat instruction. And then lastly, for the dragon, from the back, you get your Rebuild the World advertisement. And your piece count for 2 pages leading on to that final overall model for that other build. One of the 3 different builds that you can create within this set is for a dragon, which I think turned out really great. It's a bit of departure from what LEGO typically does for dragons when you look at something like, say, from Ninjago. I really like this more brick-built sitting down style. Definitely something unique to this particular set. Now, looking at the dragon as a whole, you get that black, purple, and lime green color scheme for the belly. I really like that lime green, adds a bit of a pop of color in addition to the black and the purple that you see all around. I really like getting these pieces in purple. Those are really nice to get within this set. You get some clip pieces for the little talons, the feet, as well as for the hands, which I believe they do this so then this dragon can actually also hold the wand like you'll see with the witch later on in the video. Get those ball joint connections so you get that 360 posability there, which is really nice for both of the arms. You also get those ball joints back here for the wings, so you can have them folded up like such, or you can bring them out, which I actually really love that they include that, and also getting these Nexonite shields in purple to act as sort of like the scales of the dragon. I think that's a very interesting design choice. Moving to the back, you can see a little bit of a flat build up there, which doesn't look too pretty, but it is what it is. You get 2 clip piece connections, so you can actually have the tail from this side, or you can flip it right around and bring it over here, which I actually really like that inclusion. Adds a little bit of change to what the tail looks like from the back, and you get a few of these curved plate pieces here, which I also really like getting within a set, and another touch of that lime green from the back. Looking at the head design, one thing that I don't like about this design is the fact that the back is so flat using just that plate piece, but looking at the front, I really like how they did the snoot of the dragon there, and you can also see the teeth represented with that white, and I also like how they did the curve down here from the bottom of the chin. Get those eye prints on those 1x1s, which aren't anything too special. We've been seeing those since 2010. And we also happen to get a little witch's hat from the very top, which will be the same design that you see for the other characters, and that is connected using this Technic connection from the very top, which I think is an interesting way to place that on this dragon. I also have to point out this dish piece, which is an uncommon color, or at least a brand new part number for this particular piece, currently only coming within the LEGO Ideas Lighthouse set. Now, before I move on to our next model, I do have to point out that this is one of the smaller builds included within the set, meaning that you are left with quite a substantial amount of extra parts that you can use to build some of the other models when you disassemble this one. Moving right along, we have our second alternate build for this cat, which this again brings up the idea that we saw with the last model, that we have this witch that can transform into animals. Just like the last build that we looked at, we also happen to get a number of extra parts when it comes to building the cat. All of these will be used when you actually build the witch, which we'll look at in a few minutes. But looking at the final overall design for this build, I really like how it turned out, though I do have to mention LEGO should really be producing these ball joint sockets in different colors other than light gray, because it just does not look great with this particular color scheme of the purple, the black, and also you have that lavender right there in the middle, which I think is really nice. Speaking of these ball joints, I love posability. You get that on all 4 of the legs, so you can have the cat stretch out if you want. You even get some clip piece connections for the little feet at the bottom, which is really adorable. Plain plate piece from the bottom, which I don't mind as the foundation. Love getting those Nexonite shields just to add a little bit more extra texture. From the back, we have the tail, which can go back and forth there. Not really too much posability in that. I'm surprised they didn't use ball joints for that, but it is what it is. Now, speaking about the head design, you get that different type of clip piece connection, so you get that posability of going up and down for the head. I really like the inclusion of those Wolverine claws for the whiskers. You get that melon slice tile for the nose, and also those eye prints that you'll see across all of the other models. And we also happen to get that nice little witch's hat, which you can remove using that axle connection, which also reveals that we have these ears for the cat, which you can bring right up. So if you don't want this to be a witch's cat, you can just have it be a regular cat, though I don't really like the direction of the ears. I wish that they would actually show these tile pieces facing forward instead of facing inside the build. And finally, that brings us to our last model, the Mystic Witch, which uses pretty much all of the pieces. Of course, you get your regular amount of extras that you would get in any regular LEGO set, but in addition to the build of the witch itself, you also happen to get some sub-builds in here, or at least some extra pieces. Those include this very nice black spider piece, which is the mold that was introduced, I believe, within LEGO Harry Potter back in 2018. We also happen to get a little frog, which we've been getting these forever in LEGO sets. Still a nice addition to the collection. As for the other side build, we get this very nicely done pumpkin, which uses those 1x2x2 brick pieces with the studs on the sides, which you typically get in the brickhead set, in order to place these 1x2 cheese slopes. You get a little leaf at the top, and also the stem being this spiky piece in brown, which I think is an uncommon color for that particular piece, which is nice to get. Now, starting from the bottom and working our way up this character, I'm really impressed with a lot of the different building techniques. For one thing, I really love how this skirt was designed using those Nexonite shield pieces. You also get a little bit of sloping off, you even get these little clip pieces down here, which I believe were the ones that we saw on the cat, just to add a little bit of texture as if this dress is somewhat fraying or something. Additionally, I do have to point out the connection of these using these shield pieces and the clip piece connection. I really like how that was done in order to get this angling. And another small thing that I thought was really unexpected is the fact that we actually have some feet from the bottom, which I'll remove. So you can see that we have these dark brown shoes that the witch are wearing, or maybe some boots hiding underneath her dress. And I also have to say, these half circle pieces are really nice to get in a set like this. When it comes to how the torso is connected to the skirt, you can see that we have this Technic connection. I can also point out these really nice macaroni tile pieces. Those are pretty cool to get. You can see how the torso is connected, again using that Technic pin and technical. Looking at the torso design, we have a lot of gold on here, which I think adds a nice touch of color in addition to the regular purple. Again, that lavender that we saw. Get some clip pieces from the side, some little bags, I guess, of stuff that the witch is holding on to. Whiskers of the cat being used here as some extra accessories. I like that they included them there. One thing that I don't like, however, when it comes to this design is the fact that, again, just like a lot of the other builds, the back of the head and the back of the body is just really flat. I wish that they did something just to add a little bit more of like a curve to the back of this character, just because it just doesn't work when it comes to the front of this design. Of course, it is meant to be displayed from the front, but I wish that they went all out and included some extra pieces in order just to round out the back of this particular design. Now further moving up the body, we get those ball joints yet again for the arms, where you can see we use these curved plate pieces just like we saw for the dragon tail. I think that's a very clever usage, though then again I do have to point out that getting those ball joint pieces in those colors just does not work out when it comes to the design of this outfit. We also get those ball joints for the hands, which are done in a rather weird way, where we get this particular piece as the socket for these stick piece connections, where we have a wand for one accessory, which is your typical magic wand that we've been getting from LEGO since the very beginning. And from the other side, we have a broomstick accessory, which I actually think is designed quite well. You get a bunch of those curvy Technic pieces here, as well as that bar connection in order to have your character hold on to this accessory. And lastly, from the very bottom, we get this bush piece in this dark green, which I believe has come in another set as of this year. I think it was a Brickhead set, one of the pets. We got that in, so that's really nice to see return in this set. And as I said, you get that hole there in order to connect the accessory, which works quite well. Now, another small thing that I have to complain about when it comes to the head of this character is the fact that I wish the nose was just a touch lower. I mean, I wouldn't mind if it was somewhat touching the mouth area, but I just don't like the placement of the nose. I think it's just way too close to the eyes, again using those printed eye pieces. Do like that we use these melon slice pieces as the eyebrows though, but then again, it's just the nose just is the one big problem when it comes to this head, other than the fact that, again, I have to point out that it is just very flat from the back. Now, as for the rest of the design of the head, we get a lot of black for the hair, and we get the same exact design that we saw for all the other characters when it comes to the hat. I'll just remove it so you can see this character's hair, which is really interesting to see these circular pieces being used as the hair from the side. I wish that the other studs were covered up, but isn't really anything too necessary. And you also get a little bit of posability with the head, where you can actually move it back and forth as like it's nodding right there with that different type of clip piece connection. So overall, for a $100 gift with purchase, is this set worth it? I mean, yes and no. If you're someone who enjoys collecting seasonal Halloween sets, I definitely recommend it. However, there are a few things that I have to complain about when it comes to certain color usages. I know it's out of their control when it comes to the ball joint connections. And when you turn around some of these characters, I wish that LEGO would have included some more pieces just to round out a lot of the flatness of the backs, just because when you look at it from the front it looks amazing, but when you turn these characters around, I mean, they are meant as display pieces, I suppose, though this is not an 18+ set. That's really my only complaint when it comes to some of the designs in this set. If I had to rank all three of these models, I'd have to say the cat is very likely my favorite of the bunch, followed by the witch, and then lastly the dragon. Unfortunately, I have to place that one in third place, as much as I think it is a really interesting design and much of a departure from LEGO's typical dragon designs. But at the end of the day, I had a lot of fun building this set 3 times, which is something that I don't typically do. Again, Creator 3-in-1 really isn't my genre of LEGO. I'm more into Star Wars, Harry Potter, which you'll see on the channel, It's only recently that I've started getting into Creator 3-in-1, and I'm actually interested in quite a few of the sets that we'll be seeing in 2023, and so far a lot of the reviews I've done of Creator 3-in-1 have performed quite well, specifically the Butthole Tiger. That was actually designed by the same exact person who designed this set, which is probably one of the reasons why I ended up picking this set up. So yeah, that's all that I have to say for this video. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below what your thoughts are on this set. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell icon to know if I upload a new video. So yeah, that's it for now, and I will see you next time. Bye!